So here we go. This is my absolutely first ride on this bike. This feels really great, really solid. It doesn't feel as spongy as many bikes that I've tried and rode, and also the one that I own. Tight turns are not so nice because of its steering radius, really limited here, huh? So that takes a little bit of practice. What I also just noticed is that I forgot to check the air pressure when I got it from the shop, and I feel like there's too much air in the tires. That's why it maybe was kicked off before. Might just let some air out of the tires. Even though this bicycle is longer than my Nduro, it doesn't feel longer, it actually feels shorter. It's interesting and a little more agile, and just in the first couple of moments also more direct. I can feel the terrain better, and even though this is such a heavy bike with 27 kilos, it doesn't feel heavy to me. Coming from a bicycling and motorbike background, I think it's totally okay. Actually, I cycled a lot and now I do more motorbike, and I almost prefer a more heavy bike. It's more planted, and only having to lift it over obstacles in very rare cases, or having to carry it, it's not fun. If I would do mountain bike tours where I'm carrying the bike, then I would definitely not go for an e-bike, even if it's a light e-bike. This looks quite technical. See, and again here it's quite tight, and turning on this radius, it's not so easy, huh? Let's try this. It's also quite wet. Good. Yeah. Not bad. Now try this pushing mode. Top button, and then when it's purple, you have to press the bottom button here, and that gives me assist. Now, because I'm in the lightest gear and it's not very steep, it's going really slow. Okay. General climbing capability, I don't feel the front wheel lifting up at all. I think there's really not much to say. Climbing seems to be really good. Shifting, this Eagle is definitely better than the Shimano that I have on the Nduro. This shifts clearer. It's also loud, but it doesn't feel like you're ripping off the chain every time. It's actually quite good. And also these levers here, they feel better. All in all the components on this bike just feel very high quality. What this motor does, it feels more natural than the EP8, because I almost feel like I'm doing the work, but it's has really good assistance. Yeah, it feels really natural. Until now, The overall feel of this bike is really nice. I took a little bit of pressure out of the tires, so now with less air pressure I can already feel it's much better. It always makes a huge difference how a mountain bike works. So you can tell that it is quite a big bike for someone who comes from more agile bikes. They're definitely shocked because you have to maneuver it here quite a bit, but for me it's just something to get used to. I'm not racing bikes anyway, so I don't care too much if I can do something faster or slower. It doesn't really matter. I'm just out here for the fun. Then I'm gonna do another test. I'm gonna switch off the motor and then I put her in first gear. And I'm trying to pedal without the assistance of the motor. As soon as there's a little bit of uphill, yeah, I'm better off pushing the bike. There's too much resistance here. Till now I haven't had the urge to lean back a lot. I can just stay centered on the bike. The geometry is really downhill oriented. Double crown fork, super solid. Because it's an e-bike, I think I don't want to ride an e-bike without a double crown fork anymore, because the weight doesn't matter anyway on an e-bike from my perspective. This is really much nicer. So the rear tire is nice for drifting, comparable to the 29 at the rear. I think this was more controllable on the drift. So what you have to keep in mind is that this is a size small bicycle, and I think there's a difference if you go for a size small with mullet wheels, or if you go for a size large with mullet wheels. I think there's a big difference. Because of course, compared to my body size, it's quite technical here, compared to my body size, of course also the wheels are a different story. On my full 29 I could feel that the rear wheel sometimes came in my way. Whoopa. And because it's so much bigger compared to the frame. Oop. And here, how does this look? I can go down here. It's a little bit wet, but it's nice to drift the rear wheel, much better than the 29er. Wow. Amazing. So definitely small size frame. I'm a big fan of the Mullet rather than the 29.